having this Designuru festival, what exactly you planned? What is the reason, in fact, you decided to come up with this Designuru festival? Because it's for about 9 days. You're bringing in so many people, to hold workshops. You've had so many personal stories being told. You had panel discussions. You had the minister in there. You've got the BPMP commissioner there. Iconic architects were part of this panel discussion. There were a whole lot of things discussed here. But ultimately, what is the idea? I mean, how do you plan to, sort of take this forward? What exactly you feel will be the outcome of this? And how do you think you'll be able to make a difference to this city through design, intervention of design?
IIII is a national forum with 29 chapters across the country, and Bangalore is predominantly one of the best chapters. We thought Bangalore as a city has grown from 3.5 lakhs to nearly 1 crore population crowd, and we found that the facilities and the infrastructure of the city has not met with the growing population, with the number of people from other places coming and settling down. So we thought we have to bring the design into the common man, and that is what was the evolution of Designuru, and that is what we think we have achieved in the course of these days. And like you rightly said, we had architects talking from 1963 days of what they were practicing, which is really a reminiscence for the people who are here, and suggestions what is coming. And the most interesting part is even the government, the ministers, everybody has given us various avenues to pursue the decisions and discussions what we arrived at to a meaningful. We think this will be a meaningful start in the right direction. With all the problems the city has, we feel a little design change can evolve a lot, and it will be a contribution from us to the multitude of problems with minimal of solutions at least. And that was the objective of this 1 week, and I think we have achieved that.
I'm architect Shamala Prabhu, and I'm the chairman-elect of Institute of Indian Interior Designers, Bangalore. Designuru was conceptualized, there is this, we decided to have a forum with various verticals, where we decided design is a very broad-based, what should you say, the spectrum is very wide, so we had to kind of converge, and as architects and designers, so we kind of divided it into about 3 to 4 verticals. Like we had something about the interiors, there was the architecture, there was the craft, there was the performance. We basically wanted the common man of Bangalore to be involved in this. Everybody has an element of design in their life, but what is a good design? That is, all these things come about only with exposure. So we decided to expose the common man, and what better location than the boulevard, so where you like it or not, there is amazing footfall, people walking up and down. So even if you are not aware that something has happened, you automatically get involved.
One thing which we are very sure right from the beginning that what Designuru would do or will definitely achieve, that it will wake up the sleeping people of Bangalore, the sleeping citizens. We are not very sure as to, finally will most of the designs, when will they see the light of the day? What type of money is required to see that these projects, whatever we are thinking about or what we are sketching or what we are discussing in the workshops and all, what type of money and all is required to do all that. But we are confident, yes, that once we have something with us, once we have something in terms of a sketch or in terms of a paper or in terms of some type of a idea which we can showcase to people, others will definitely come and join in. This is the first year when we have sort of just started. And let me tell you, it is a humble start. People, today morning when I was here, they said 9 days of a festival, right, it's never been thought of till now. But we said in the very first year itself, it was 9 days. And every day we have been having different workshops, we have different seminars. Today we had the government seniors, the commissioner, we had the person from the metro. Yesterday we had the legends of architects, architects who actually made Bangalore what it is today. Before that we had product designers, we had interior designers, we had heritage people. So it's been such a large, I would say, a spectrum of people who have been coming here, getting involved, spending their time, energy, giving so much to people. And the beauty of that is that yes, it's all happening on the pavement outside, without any doors, without any, hang up that no, we are designers or we are so and so. So we are very positive that with all this, we would be waking up a lot of people, getting them involved, showcasing all that thing, and then taking it further to the next year. And if we are able to succeed till there also, I'm sure it's a great achievement for all of us.
It's synonymous to a
It's
street
synonymous to a street play, yes.
play, where you involve the...
Because on one side, we are going to have the citizens who are then, sort of involved when they've woken up. On the other side, you have the government officials. So the citizens themselves will start demanding, no, we want something like this. And when the demand is created, the other side, the government people will have to give in, and they'll have to create. So that is what we plan to do through this Designuru.
Bangalore has become Bengaluru, and from garden city to IT city, it has grown such a way that we need to address the problems of the senior citizens, and that is what we are trying to do one of these days in this Designuru festival.
Designing a dustbin to the detailing of that, and also how the payments can be designed. Even if the old people or handicapped, when they move, it has to be user friendly for them. So to that detailing, we are trying to have workshop and see how the design of a dustbin can be enhanced and things like that. So this is all about Designuru.
Senior citizens, how the city has to be made friendly for them, and also it's not just the senior citizens but also the children too. If you really notice that the city is not child friendly at all. It is very dangerous for children to even walk on the road alone or cycle. I mean, it's just these sort of things don't happen abroad. Okay, I'm not saying that the city has to be like some of the developed countries, but at least we can meet some way given the awareness amongst the citizens in Bangalore. Now, how do you propose, how as designers, you can help this city more child-friendly and also address the needs of the senior citizens? It could be in terms of payments, it could be in terms of, the skywalks having, the lift, or I'll leave it to you. You let me know. You tell us.
Senior citizens, as such, in this Bengaluru, they are not able to travel. They are more within their house. So as a awareness program, I feel apart from the design, there should be very simple steps, like maybe perhaps mobile vans, where senior citizens can go out and see the young IT city. Perhaps the mobile van could be networked with the computer, everything, which can be just to what IT guys, young people do. Let us show them what they do. They do not know, sitting in the house. So while providing these mobile vans, perhaps senior citizen can get the glimpse of what they are doing, and that would be perhaps making them more open outwards than making them so inward.
When we were kind of talking to the bureaucrats, that's exactly what we spoke about, and we have asked them to involve us as an institute, as designers. When, like for example, if it's metro, there's a lot of space surrounding it. So just like how the boulevard has been designed so that people can walk without fear, kids can play here. So we have asked them to involve us more and more, and as an institute we are very happy to extend that support, because the best and the top and the cream of the designers are part of this institute.
A sensitive topic like senior citizens cannot be just done either by BBMP or by any single person. It has to be on an overall basis. You need to have the transportation department in it, you need to have the pavement department in it, you need to have various people. And it is not only a senior person who's absolutely able, we have to even address the senior citizens who are for some reason physically disabled. And I have seen the things which are happening. I have seen people abroad that even a person who is sort of walking with walker, he or she is able to walk all the way from the hospital with the walker on the pavement all the way up to the car, or get onto a bus. So the bus also is designed in such a way that it can take a senior citizen. In that what happens is that the entire floor of the bus, the gates and all, it sort of comes down so that a person can get in. The buses which are there outside, they have the capability to just take the wheelchair of the senior citizen into the bus itself. So what I would say is that just BBMP cannot do anything for it. It has to be a system where there will be, multifold people. And that is one advantage what we have here in Designuru. We have not only architects, we have product designers, we have interior people, it's a huge forum. So whatever type of design is needed by whatever brand or whatever, utility, we will be able to address it.
I want to say that there is a lot of potential, and I think for the first time we see the government administration really coming forward to meet with designers with an open mind and basically want to collaborate with designers to do different parts of the city, to design different parts of the city. It's a mega city today, so the problems and the issues that are there cannot be just the governments. I think as citizens and as design fraternity, we definitely have solutions that we'd like to give forth for the city, which can be used for the citizens, for a better Bangalore. We were just talking to Mr. Vasant Rao of BMRCL Metro, and they were talking about pockets of area where their stations are, which are areas that definitely as designers we can look at and suggest, whether it is on a commercial basis or whether it's on a social basis, spaces to be used by the public. So it could be for sport, it could be for art, it could be for a combination of the two, including community spaces. But the idea is that more and more spaces are available for the public to be utilized in a way that's not it's more positively used.
Waste management in terms of dustbins, etc. You'll find that the one problem the city is facing is that there are hardly any dustbins on the road. Even if you want to sort of dispose of the garbage or the paper, tissue, whatever, you just don't see any dustbins. And if you see any dustbins also, they are open and the garbage is spilling out. There's also always a mess around it. As designers, can you suggest a solution to this? Maybe design some good dustbins, or can you look at a solution to this? Especially I'm talking about the commercial areas.
Your waste has to be put into the dustbin, and if you see a lot of dustbins, even if it's kept, people still thrash it around the bins. They don't actually put it in the bin. As designers, we have to try and see how we can evolve with the design of the dustbin, wherein they are attracted that the tissue gets into the bin, not around the bin. As somebody was speaking in the forum today, that even if you have bins, trash bins, people actually take away the trash bins. So the challenge is to have a design wherein the bins are secured, and also it is make people to come and put the trash into the bin, not around the bin. So it's kind of more of a civic issue, but we have to try and see as designers what best we can do in evolving a design of a better dustbin.
And dry waste is so much easier to dispose. So I think civic awareness is key in this whole garbage issue.
Initial stage itself, we've decided to involve the students of various design schools. This is going to build more awareness, so the kids kind of get into this complete exposure of involving or the public around. So I would like one of the faculty who's been part of our Designuru.
I'm Smita Mysore. I'm an architect and an urban planner. I'm a professor of architecture at SJB School of Architecture and Planning, Bangalore. Wanted to utilize all the waste to decorate their pavilion. So in fact, we have used already used bottles, glass bottles and plastic and thread and everything to decorate the pavilion upstairs. But they couldn't push it a little too much because they didn't have the tools to cut some of the equipment. That said, I think in schools of architecture there is a lot of awareness about the trash issue that you were talking about, because architecture schools generate a lot of waste, all the design sheets, the models when we cut and so on and so forth. So we have initiated in our school where the kids at the end of the semester gather all the dry waste and we contact the authorities to see if they can come and take it. But one of the hurdles that we face, and we request the government to help us out, not just our college but all the schools of architecture, I would say, is who will take the cardboard and the paper. Lot of the raddiwalas don't want to take that. They take only the newspapers. So we have been continuously hitting a block, like a wall, where we get somebody to come and collect it en masse. And we have a lot of trash that is generated, lot of trash, thermocol, plastic, all the model making equipment that you see, all the drawing sheets, and lot of disposables like pencil, paper, so many things. So definitely we are at a loss. Who can help us out? Because the intention is there, the awareness is there, the enthusiasm is there, but we don't know who to contact. And whoever we tried, based on the popular numbers that were given to the citizens, I did try, and a lot of my faculty helped me. It hit a wall because they said, no, we can't help you at this moment, we don't have the people to come and collect, can you come and dump it somewhere? And it is a little difficult. At the end of the semester, students are facing their exams, and we don't have a big vehicle to get it. But there is a lot of trash, lot of dry waste generated. So that is just talking about the trash. But talking about Designuru, I think it has been very clean, very well maintained here. Just linking the trash and the garbage issue. So my students commented on that. They are like, ma'am, we feel so motivated to put things in the bin here, because there are bins placed everywhere. They make sure that people are coming to sweep and clean. So our kids are here every day, every single day upstairs. So they are very happy with how it has been organized and how well it is maintained.
About, the children sort of coming ahead. And let me tell you on my own personal note, the person who taught me not to throw trash outside my car or just lower the window and, throw the packet of biscuit or Pepsi can or whatever was my daughter. Like, she would never let me do it. So that's when I realized that, when we are looking for to a change, it will definitely take one generation. People of my generation will sort of start thinking about it, but the next generation has already thought about it and they are very clear about it.
Very clear, yeah.
And they are so clear that if I throw anything outside the window, they have the guts to go down, pick it up and throw it back on me. So that is the type of change which I'm sort of expecting within the next, I would say, a generation type of thing. And today, children are telling their parents, because they've been taught in school and all, that don't do this, you are not supposed to do this and all. So the change has definitely started. It will take a little bit of time, but it will suddenly accelerate. Mm-hmm. The other thing about the waste, what you're talking about, my own office, we generate so much of paper as a waste. And, we have plots which have sort of come out and they are wrong or whatever it is. And ultimately, we found out a person who takes all the paper, cuts it, binds it, and returns that to us as notebooks, one-sided.
Concern about the, the design and the management of public spaces. So when you really look at a public space, I'm talking about maybe to be used for cultural, programs, a large public space, or even if something is there and you want to sort of revamp it because it's in a bad state, and then you want to offer it to the public, you will need the intervention of the designers, and there is also, if it belongs to the government, you also need the money to come in. Probably you need a private vendor to sort of pitch in. But then there is also the concern, while you may, arrive at something very nice which public can use, there is also the concern that it may become very exclusive, okay, when there is intervention by the designers or the private parties. So how exactly, as designers, how can we address this concern and, sort of approach it differently so that yes, the intervention of the designers can be there and we can offer spectacular public spaces for the public, which is not going to be exclusive.
The spot which we have chosen for Designuru answers the question. It was beautifully designed, there's a designer's intervention, and it's a public space, and it's all inclusive.
We cannot be expecting government agencies to always look into maintenance of areas, and I think more and more often we need to come to some commercial maintenance system where the space can kind of be can run by collecting some fee for its own maintenance.
Because again, from the student community, they're very excited about what the fraternity is doing, the design fraternity and the architecture fraternity, and this is a great example of how it can be taken forward in other neighborhoods. So every single neighborhood, like for example, Bangalore has 19 almost architecture colleges, other design colleges, and they are spread all over the city. So every neighborhood, whichever the public space is, I completely agree with Gayatri. If there is a small motivation for maintenance, then the design colleges and designers and design schools can occupy that space in a seasonal way or a periodic way and do something for the general public. So I think this is a very, very energized and very wonderful time for Bangalore city, because there's a lot of great events happening where public is getting aware of the designer's touch actually.
There are also a lot of spaces maybe under the subways, and then sometimes there are spots near the parks which are all currently it's just filled with garbage. You'll see cattle sitting there, some beggars lying down. They're just unutilized spaces, but they're all at the vantage spots. Okay, these may not be probably vast areas where you can have a cultural forum or whatever, but they're definitely spaces which can be clean, and you can have some seating arrangements and people can. How exactly, as a designer community, how can you intervene, bring this to the awareness, work with the government and change these spots so that we don't have any more sore spots in the city, but rather beautiful spots where people, especially older people, can sit back, enjoy, and turn the city into a beautiful space.
It's true, the city does have a lot of areas which can be utilized and beautified. There are so many areas like you mentioned, and I think each of these areas have to be looked at individually, and I think the design fraternity with Designuru, this is what we are also suggesting. One of the themes is design for the masses, and the whole thought is that the design that you're looking at is for the people and the citizens of the city. So these areas, if different designers look at, depending on what they are interested in, whether it is spaces under the flyover or whether it is better utilization of neighborhood parks, or if it is, say, large areas like Cubbon Park and Lal Bagh. We have also done a project where which we called Recreate Rest, which was to showcase street furniture. And I think IIA is also doing a great job of looking at design of a single ward right now.
What about urban planning in the city? You really see the kind of the houses, the way especially you see little temples on the pavements, and then even if you look at the houses, each one has a different design. So I'm just talking about the entire landscape of the city. As designers, would you also like to be part of the urban planning of the city, sort of try and intervene so that at least the newer the areas which are developing, or probably bring in some design intervention where at least some of the roadblocks are removed and the city is much more beautiful?
We never expected it to be such a big event. We never expected to have solutions. We wanted to bring the public, the common man, to this forum. We think we have achieved that because we have reporters like you asking us for solutions, which means the objective of Designuru has been met. And right from the speaker today was saying, the civic sense of the people, banging the horns, spitting in the proper place, throwing the garbage, to the areas of what you call renovating the left out areas. IIIT has been involved in the decoration, the interior walls of the metro station in the earlier stages. Our national team is taking design to masses. We are trying to get associated with the local people. So we may not be able to do everything at the right time, but at least we feel that we have started. And the number of the public who are there, the common people who come and ask us for solutions, make it more gratifying for us that we feel that we have given a start to a momentum of which we ourselves feel excited, because we now feel that we have a commitment to keep. And people like us who decided that we'll come in turns every day have been coming every day here. So I think on whole, if we catch up the momentum and the ball starts rolling, I think it'll go with greater velocities.
I think one has to be a little careful because there is a certain limitations what a designer can or cannot do, whether it is an architect or an interior designer or a designer of furniture and so on. I think one of the biggest contributions designers can make is give a imageability to a neighborhood or to the city or to their own street.
From Bangalore to Bengaluru, and from Bangalore to Designuru in these 9 days, I think we have created the buzz to reach to the masses. And perhaps that is the objective of our Designuru, and we have as a team, we have a satisfaction that we have achieved that.
You're talking about the urban design, so we should try and work with the BBMP as ward-wise and try to make a master plan about that ward. Where the utilities are, where the Raja Kalve, the storm drains are, where the utilities are going. These kind of things I don't think BBMP really has any of these master plans ward-wise. I think we as designers, we could try and do that ward-wise. Each office can try and collaborate with the local ward and try and come out with a design, taking the corporators' help. And the other thing right now BBMP is doing is trying to again do the painting on the walls, which they had earlier, the heritage whatever which they had, which I think lost is this thing in like less than 2 years. I think they should come to the designers and interact with them and see what they can do. Instead of just painting the walls with those heritage, I think we can come out with better designs which can last longer than painting them just for 2 years.
Another point of my thinking is that we are today feeling very great that we have sort of achieved this, which we have achieved whatever level and all. But my personal thinking is that from here further, the path is going to be much more difficult than what we have. It's very easy to sort of convince people, fine, do this, but when we actually step in to do that, or if we go to a particular ward and we try to implement something, that stage is going to be far more difficult than what we have been doing in the past 9 days. We are going to have a lot of oppositions. We are going to face brickbats. And even if you want to do something, there will be people who say no. So I do not know how to face it. I am not even sort of ready for that particular stage to come. But I know very well that yes, it's going to be a terrible problem, because even if you want to shift a little bit, you want to tell one fellow to shift, you are here just shifted by a foot, he'll say no, I cannot do that. So in all this urban context and all, it's not going to be very easy. But I don't think we should give up. I'm not trying to talk negative or so, but I'm just trying to prepare everybody that yes, the next step is going to be more difficult than what the first step is. But the biggest silver lining is what I always say is that everybody talks of population as a problem in our country, and I say it is not so. The problem which our country is facing, according to me, is a problem of plenty. We have plenty of everything in this country, not only population. We have plenty of temples. We don't care about them. We have plenty of sunshine. We don't bother about it. Right? You name it. You have plenty of heritage. So what? Let it go to dogs. We don't care about it. Right? So when you have plenty of everything, you don't care about it. That's what I'm just trying to say. When you have things available to you in limited quantities, then you start aspiring for it, then you start taking care of it, then you maintain it properly. So the problem is there. The problem is that because we have plenty of everything, our caring, our everything is totally gone. Have the same thing given to people in restricted formats. they'll all start maintaining it, they'll all start loving it, they'll all start keeping it. That's what I wanted to convey.